Welcome back to another edition of the Pagcast. I'm your host, Michael Pagani, joined alongside Kamloops Blazers forward Logan Stankoven. Logan, thank you again for coming on the Pagcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Michael.
You know, a lot of people indulged in Netflix early on during this pandemic. What have you been doing during quarantine?
Well, at first, it was kind of the same thing for everybody. I mean, a lot of people were unsure of, how bad this pandemic was really going to get. And obviously it was, pretty severe where, a lot of things got shut down. So it's really too bad, but it is what it is. And, obviously with the WHL being shut down right before playoffs there and the rinks and everything. So it was really hard at first, but, as lots of people have posted or you've seen on the internet, they found different ways to train and stay active, whether it's lifting weights out of your house or shooting pucks, rollerblading, so anything like that. But things have started to open up here, and I've been back in the gym with my trainer and on ice now, so just basically back to the normal.
And has the NHL returning also provide some normalcy into your life?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I think that's kind of I think the NHL sets the bar in terms of, whether or not leagues, junior leagues or, minor hockey and this and that, whether, I think it depends on the NHL, whether that will return or not. So, yeah, I think with the NHL, starting up here again and, being able to watch the playoffs, it's really refreshing. It's nice to see again.
And I gotta say, playoff time is the best time for hockey fans.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even though it was the qualifying round, I've been watching lots of that, and they're really competitive games, and you can just tell the physicality and how fast the speeds picked up compared to the regular season. So yeah, it's been awesome to watch, and I'm looking forward to watching more hockey as the playoffs go on here.
Has your whole perception of the coronavirus changed since when it officially was, since when all the leagues shut down?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I didn't really think too much of it at first. Obviously I heard, it's quite severe and stuff, but, I think it's with, the NHL opening back up again, they have a plan in place for, the players and, the staff and the media to feel comfortable with, being around each other. And, obviously they're in the bubble, but, I think they've done a great job so far, and hopefully that continues.
Getting into your story a bit here, who influenced you to get into hockey?
Definitely my dad. He's been there for me ever since I was young. So he was the first one to put me on skates and, put a stick in my hands. So, yeah, I'd probably say my dad, and he's been really supportive over the years, and he's taken me all across Western Canada and to the States for hockey. So it's been awesome.
Was there a player growing up who you wanted to model your game after?
There's lots of players. If I had to pick a couple, I'd probably say Braden Point or Jonathan Marchessault. So they're obviously smaller statured players, but their hockey IQ's off the charts, and they've got great shots, and obviously they have to be quick for smaller guys, so I think they bring the full package to the game. And it's really cool to see that smaller players are able to make the NHL and produce at a level that they are. So it's really good to see, and hopefully maybe one day I could follow in their steps.
Would you be able to speak upon your road to where you are today, like some of the successes you've had, challenges you've faced?
Yeah, actually, I think it was when I was 10, actually, I broke my collarbone. So that was, it was really tough, because I had a big tournament coming up, and, I was actually playing in a tournament, but up a year. So there was hitting, and, it was kind of my first tournament, being in hitting, and a bigger guy came and hit me, and I ended up breaking my collarbone. So that was, really tough. So I was out of commission for about 2 months, but then I came back in time for the big tournament, and it was fun. So if anything, I think my collarbone's actually gotten stronger. And obviously I've been keeping proactive with stretches and making sure that everything's up to date, and that I can stay away from injuries as much as possible.
Growing up in British Columbia, how cool is it to have the Olympics near your hometown of Kamloops?
Yeah, it was really cool. I think it was even cooler to see that Crosby scored the golden goal in Vancouver, which is only about 3 hours away from where I live. So I didn't actually get a chance to go down and watch any games, but I watched them all live on TV, and I remember the golden goal like it was yesterday. So yeah, it was pretty cool to have the Olympics held in Vancouver.
Did you ever travel down just to take in the scenery?
No, I didn't. I didn't actually get a chance, but it was too bad. But yeah, it would have been really cool to have that chance. But you never know. Maybe the Olympics come back.
Do you find yourself at a lot of Kamloops Blazers games growing up?
Yeah, I went to lots of games, especially when I was younger. I mean, Kamloops isn't that big of a city, so I think Kamloops, like the Blazers is a big draw for a lot of fans and people around town. So the fans are great here in Kamloops, and yeah, I've just been watching them since I've been young, and I've always wanted to play for them when I was younger. So now I finally have the chance. It's been great.
You were listed as a rookie this year, and you got 48 points in 59 games. What did this year mean for your development?
Yeah, it was a little bit of an adjustment at first. Coming in as a younger guy, I really had to adjust to the style of play, and not being recognized as a top player on your team. Obviously, there's guys that are 3-4 years older than you, on your team. So you have to recognize that these guys have been in the league for a few years and know their way around, and they're obviously great players. So they may get more ice time than you. But you have to accept your role, and hopefully when I get to that age, I'll get more ice time and work my way up the lineup.
How long did it take for you to adjust?
I'd probably say right after Christmas. I kind of realized that I have to be better in order for me to help my team out and support them in the winning roles. So yeah, I'd probably say right after Christmas, I came back hungry and ready to go. So I think from there on, I developed lots, and I got better as the season went on.
Was it your own motivation, or was there someone on the team that really helped you ease your way into the WHL style?
I'd probably say my own motivation. Also own my own motivation of seeing other guys around the league have success, and I realize that's where I want to be, and in order for me to be there and be among some of those top players, for my age group, I really had to put in the time and effort, and I think I really had to work on my cardio over Christmas, and I came back ready to go, and from there on, I just kind of took off.
Last year, you appeared in 6 playoff games for the Kamloops Blazers. Did those 6 playoff games get you a glimpse of what playoff hockey is like?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was really cool really cool opportunity to have that chance to, go up and play as a 15-year-old and, kind of get that experience and a feel for, what the playoffs are like. And yeah, just from, going from the regular season as a 15-year-old to playoffs now, it was really a good eye opener for me. And, I really got a good feel for what playoff hockey in the WHL is all about. So.
Does it switch your mindset at all from regular season to playoffs?
At first it didn't really too much, but then right after my first game, I didn't have the greatest game, and I realized that I have to be way better if I want to contribute to the team. And so I think that second game I really tried to take a big step into helping my team out and just doing the little things right.
You represented Team Canada at the U17s. What was that whole experience like?
Yeah, that was really, really neat to, finally put the maple leaf, on my chest. Yeah, obviously it was the first time being a part of a Hockey Canada tournament. And again, it was a good eye opener just to see the different talent from across Europe and the States and stuff. So overall, it was a great experience. Our team didn't do the greatest. We lost in the quarterfinals, but I think it was just the whole experience itself was really awesome, fun overall.
Did that help you get an idea of what coaches will look for when choosing a World Junior Team Canada roster?
Yeah, I think they do a really good job of, kind of having a base of or kind of having a base of like leading up to the World Juniors and what they kind of look for and, what they want out of you as a player and as a person and as a role model type of thing. So, as much as it pays off to be a great player on the ice, you have to be a well-rounded person and a great guy off the ice as well.
This upcoming season is your draft year. How do you make sure that your game gets to the next level?
Um, yeah, I'd probably say, doing the extra and, whether it's staying on the ice, longer after practice or, shooting pucks in my off time, any little things that, I can work that can help work on my game or, just improve the little things. I think that will really pay off in the long run.
Draft rankings can get to a player's head, and it can get to the player's head, to the point where it does affect their on-ice play. What are you going to do to make sure that it doesn't affect your play?
I'd probably say, not really focus too much on, my stats. Obviously, it's a big part of, making it to the next level. But, I really want to focus on having a good year as a team. And I think we'll have a great roster and a great chance at, making a run in the playoffs this season. So hopefully, team success will, lead to individual success. So I think it will really pay off.
Your teammate Connor Zary is ranked highly for this year's NHL entry draft. What are you able to take away from his journey to where he's at?
Yeah, he's been awesome. I really got to know him this past year being a 16-year-old and, he's really supportive of me being a younger guy. And, I kind of got a good look at what he's going to go through, being eligible for the draft this upcoming season after playoffs here. So, I kind of got to, know him pretty well and, ask little questions about, what I may potentially have in the future. So I think it was really cool. And, he's just a great, awesome guy.
How cool is it knowing that Connor Zary did play in the CHL Top Prospects game?
Yeah, I actually watched that full game and, I think he had about 2 or 3 assists in that game. So, he played really well and it just goes to show that, there's lots of good players out there. And, but personally, it was just really cool that, that I'm playing with this guy on my team and, he shows really well at the Top Prospects game. So good for him. And, hopefully, he goes really high in the draft here.
What are you able to say about his play to someone who may be living in the OHL region and, not know much about him?
I'd probably have to say it's his hockey IQ that really separates him for the rest of the group. Obviously you have to be a great skater and a great shooter. You have to have the overall game, but the hockey IQ and the hockey sense really stands out for me. Just the way he sees the ice and makes, a great first pass or, great plays in the power play. So overall, he's a great player, but that's the main thing that stands out for me.
So what you're saying is basically his vision is just off the charts, which is obviously a quality a player kind of needs to have, when he's trying to make the next step.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the biggest things. Obviously, size and skill is important, but the way you see the ice and make the right plays is what counts. And I think the game of hockey is a game of mistakes, and whether or not you capitalize on those mistakes is whether you have success or not. So.
Sorry, go ahead.
Making the right play is the biggest thing, definitely.
If the season had continued, you would have played the Victoria Royals in the first round. How would have you used your past playoff experience to your advantage?
I'd probably have to say, coming in with more of a focused mindset and, I already knew what to expect out of, playing as a 15-year-old. So, I'll probably take the, little things from, playing as a 15-year-old in the playoffs and kind of, tweaking little things or, getting better at those things and be more prepared for, how fast and physical the playoffs would be.
What would have been the biggest challenge going up against the Victoria Royals in the playoffs?
I'd probably say just their depth. They have you know 3-4 lines that can really come at you with speed and skill. And I think they had some injuries this season, but I think they got most of their guys back towards the end of the year there. So I think they were really coming on as a team, and it would be interesting to see how playoffs went.
Would you cherish hockey this much more, knowing that it can be taken away from you at any point?
Oh, for sure. Obviously it's been tough with the pandemic and everything, and not having hockey there for a few months and then rinks opening back up again. But just goes to show you can't take anything for granted, and that hockey is competitive, but at the same time you need to enjoy the game and have fun with it, and enjoy every second of it, because you never know, things can change like that. And luckily enough, rinks are open back here where I live, so I've been busy with that.
Did it take you a while to adjust back to skating when the rink started to open up again?
Yeah, I think it took me, a couple practices to, get my feet under me, and, get my timing and my passes back on. I think the first practice was pretty bad. I was pretty rusty, but as the practice went on, I got better, and now I feel normal back on the ice, and yeah, it's been good so far.
It's like relearning the sport all over again.
Yeah, I'd probably say so. Just in terms of timing and making passes, or picking corners in the net. So yeah, definitely.
How did you find out that the season was going to get canceled?
We actually just came back from a road trip from Tri-City and Spokane down from the States, and we were supposed to have a practice that day. And while I was in school, actually, we got a phone call from our coaches and our GM, basically saying that we need to meet down at the rink. And I think we all kind of saw it coming, and a lot of guys packed up their gear, and then everyone kind of went home back to their billet houses for about a week. And then that's when we got the call that definitely everything's done, and season's canceled type of thing. Because at the time we just thought, okay, well, maybe the season's put on hold for a week or two, and then we'll get back at it. But obviously that wasn't the case, and now we're just waiting to see if hopefully the league starts up this season.
So did you have to leave class immediately after?
No, just basically it was a normal day. Just kind of meet down at the rink, as soon as your school's over, and then go from there. But yeah, we just kind of got the phone call that we had to meet down at the rink, and so as soon as school was done, come down to the rink, and then yeah, that's when we got told the news.
You mentioned you were on a road trip to when the season was going to get canceled. Who would you room with on road trips?
On road trips, I roomed quite a bit with both of our goalies on our team. So they were both great guys, and obviously Dylan Garand and Grace Rams, they're both great guys. Garand's actually a prospect for this upcoming draft, and they're obviously great people, but even better goalies. So it was really, really good to room with them and get to know them a little bit.
People say that goalies are just a different breed of animal, you could say, for lack of a better term. Would you agree with that since you roomed with them?
I personally don't treat them any different, but I can definitely see where people are coming from. I think they're just different, and they obviously play a whole different position than as a player skating around. Obviously they have to be super focused and ready to go, because there's another goalie waiting for you on that bench. So if you're not having a good game, you could be pulled at any minute. So I think they really need to have that focus, and they have to be alert at all times. So yeah, I'd probably say that maybe they're a little bit different in terms of preparing for a game, but overall they're both great guys.
The CHL and the WHL does a phenomenal job for the teddy bear toss game. Have you played in those?
Yeah, I played in one this season actually, where Connor Zary scored the teddy bear goal. So I think we were playing Portland, and we were on a power play there, so he scored it, and pulled out the shooting the stick, Sally. So it was pretty funny, but yeah, it was a fun game to be a part of.
And you must have gotten a good break after, because it takes a while for everyone to clean up the Bears.
Yeah, I think we got a decent amount of Bears actually. So I think it was about a 15 or 20-minute delay. So yeah, by the time everything got cleaned up, I think we had to go for another little skate before we started the game back up again.
And does it provide like extra motivation since it is the teddy bear toss game? It's a game that everyone has circled on their calendars.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously it'd be pretty cool to score the teddy bear toss goal, but what doesn't matter who scores it, the teddy bears will come on the ice. But I think the main thing is just scoring a goal, because I remember a few years back when I was watching the Blazers, I think it was one of the years they didn't end up scoring a goal, so they had to throw the teddy bears on the ice after the game. So
that is awkward.
Probably wasn't the best time, but I think the main thing is just getting that first goal out of the way, and then it's just a normal game from there on in.
Last question here on the Pagcast. Do you have any advice for aspiring hockey players?
I'd probably say, keep on getting better. Whether it's doing the little things or, working every day, just find those little things to try and get better at. Because no one's perfect, and there's obviously little things that you can always get better at. So whether it's shooting pucks or going for runs or staying on the ice, longer after practice, working on one-timers or stick handling, anything that can get you better, it can work on your game, because people notice that, and it shows that you're putting in the work and willing to get better each and every day. So.
I'd like to thank Kamloops Blazers forward Logan Stankoven for joining me on today's Pagcast. Thank you again, Logan.
Yeah, thanks for having me.